Hello, everyone. I hope your break was long enough for you. So we carry on with our next big presentation, where we will showcase all of our case studies that we've done within this project. And for this, first I invite Short and Andras to do an introduction of pilot actions, and then we will switch to different countries of the project to present their pilot actions. So, Short and Andras, the virtual floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I hope that everyone can hear me. So first of all, and Dzień dobry, of course, for the Polish attendant. I am very sad that I am not in Warsaw, actually, although technically it's very well organized. I think that I can say on behalf of the whole consortium that we really regret that we cannot be at the final conference in Warsaw. But anyway, we do our best to present you what we have done till so far. Just very briefly, we are the only cluster in the consortium. We have been established about 17 years ago, and altogether we have 36 members right now, and we cover the value chain of the whole packaging sector. Of course, I would say we are committed to environment-friendly packaging materials. That's our main focus recently. We have a centralized service, operational software supplementation, and as you can see, we can offer a variety of services to our members. We have a silver label on international level. That's about Omnipack itself, and now I would like to get back to the main feature of the presentation, the pilot action case studies. Actually, when we started the project, of course we knew what we have to do, but we had to face a big challenge. So all the pilot actions have to be quite general, of course, because we had to tackle different companies. On the other hand, the solution has to be tailor-made. So we had to face this challenge from the very beginning. And of course, we had to take into consideration that we have to come up with a solution to all of the companies which we target. Altogether, we had 3 phases of the pilot action process. Altogether, 21 companies in the participating 6 countries. And this was a kind of basic level of the output, which served to fine-tune and verify the business support service. And of course, this is a cross-sectoral approach as well. The case studies, which we will show you during our presentation, are used in the communication activities after the project as well. And we had to set up, not the Omnipack, but the consortium, a handbook on sustainable paper plastics design, which have been translated into 7 languages actually. And we should disseminate this among companies and R&D institutions. So about the pilot actions themselves, we started by testing among 3 companies being project partners. How did we do it? It was very important, of course, that after the kickoff we had with the company, we had to select the devoted team. I mean, in some cases it was the technical guy, sometimes the marketing manager, sometimes the managing director, who have been appointed to do the pilot actions with us. It was really an important issue at the very beginning to know to whom we have to speak to and who will provide the information for us. And I think that all of the consortium partners can support this idea of mine. So we started with an audit tool where we had the questions about the organizational, technological, and economic feasibility of the idea of the project. At the beginning, as I told you, we started with 3 project partners, or PP6. PACMAR is not a project partner, but it's a very important partner of one of our consortium members. We started with Papirol in Slovenia, so I would like to thank Mojca and Helena very much to be a kind of test bed for the whole story. And then we went to BIOCOMPACK as a second company. Here you can see some pictures from Maribor, also from Croatia, Belo Manastir, and at least we are a little bit in Warsaw, because these are pictures taken in Warsaw at PACMAR, not so far from the airport actually. So the second round of the pilot action was about testing the business support service among 18 companies altogether in the 6 countries. How did we select them? First of all, we set up and sent out a call for proposal. So we published this call for proposal, and then we had several incoming requests, let's say. Pilot actions were mainly carried out by small and medium-sized companies, although in Poland we had a huge, let's say, restaurant chain as well, fast food restaurant chain as well, which you must have heard about. Actually, they are not a small company. Then we did write reports based on the implemented business support service, and several case studies prepared to be published and presented as best practices. We will show you later. These were the case studies for the second round of the pilot actioning. You see that there is a, how shall I put it, an interesting issue. And I was really surprised actually at the beginning to see that there will be a player from Bled Tourism, as a Bled Tourist Board from Slovenia. Actually, once we started the whole project, it was in my mind that we should target the manufacturing companies. But of course, then we realized that it's not at all only to choose production companies, since packaging is related to tourism as well. So that's why I was really happy to have, for example, a Bled Tourist Board among the participating partners, let's say, even if at the very beginning, as I told you, we were a little bit surprised. But our Slovenian consortium partner will tell more about that project. Then we had the third pilot action process, where we had to test the integrated cross-sectorial technology transfer approach. The companies have been selected from the companies of the second round. So we tried to focus on the best stories, I would say, because these companies were selected as case companies. So we wanted to select really I would say, the most interesting ones for the public. So you see some case studies, but our partners will tell you much more about them. So I just go through the slides and give the floor to András, who is managing director of BIOCOMPACK-CE, and he will speak about the pilot action in practice at BIOCOMPACK-CE.
Hello everybody, my name is András. I'm the managing director of BIOCOMPACK, as Zsolt mentioned. So we are a family company since of 1991, and we are producing flexible food packaging materials. Also do extrusion coating and flexo printing. After we converting these materials to pouches, bags, or wraps for the fast food sector. This is how I was build up my strategy to try out how we can combine bio-based materials with paper. What is was the plan of the whole process. What we was trying to use, we did extrusion coating with EcoBio, also with BIOCOMPACK, and also for a granulate from Agrana. And these, the last two is home compostable. What I was really trying to change about this, because when we are changing these bio-based materials or compostable materials instead of PE, you do a lot of waste because you have to run through your machine about 300 or 400 kilograms of these materials, and these are very expensive. So my idea was to use another material that is not a grade, but it's a lacquer or varnish, and it's much cheaper to handle it. So at the beginning, I was trying all these type of materials, but finally I was realized if I using varnish, it's much cheaper and almost the same properties. So you can see some picture about our plant. There are and also extrusion coating line. And sorry about this technical issue. Yeah, here you can see how we did this. There you see the paper, the basic papers in rolls. On the second picture on the top, as we are coating the paper with a varnish. On the third one on the top, as we do the die cutting, so we cut out the fence of the paper cup, and the bottom, both picture you can see as we are forming paper cups from this paperboard. So finally, we test the paper cups, and it was almost that good as it was coating with EcoBio or BIOCOMPACK or Agrana, but not that much. Finally, I realized for paper cup, it's better to use normal coatings, but for hamburger wraps and sandwich wraps and like French fries bags, it's enough if you are coating with a varnish, what is much cheaper and also fit better for the market. With these varnishes, what I finally found from Chemical or CH polymers, I realized this also recyclable with normal paper if it's not so greasy. So it's also good. It's not just for composting, but it's recyclable with normal paper. Finally, we find a dispersion coating solution also for the board for paper cups, but it's totally plastic free as well, and not just compostable, but recyclable with normal paper. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope that you had some ideas what we have done. If not, now I will give the floor to Greg to pass the ball to the consortium members.
Thank you very much, Zsolt and Andras. So this was the first part of our pilot action presentations, and right now we move to Slovenia. And let me just make a presenter from Andrea and put on her presentation. And here we are. So Andrea, ready where you are. Also, if you have any questions concerning those pilot actions, be sure to write them on our chat, and by the end of this set of presentations, we will try to answer all your questions. So, okay, I'm seeing that Andrea has got a slight technical problem here. So while she tries to repair it, let's move on to another speaker, and looking at here. Yeah, that was I think supposed to be Gorana, but I think that Mili will do the presentation in her stead. I just made Mili presenter. Mili, can you hear us? Yeah, Mili is here.
I can hear you. I can see you.
Great. We can hear you as well.
Is everything ready? So
yeah.
I can.
So go ahead with this presentation while we try to troubleshoot what's wrong with Andreas' presentation.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good morning or almost good afternoon. I will say a few words about RERA's activity in this session of BIOCOMPACK. So, as you know, there were two kind of actions. It's pilot actions conducted within Work Package 2 by RERA and pilot promotion activities. I must say that these actions we Croatian partners EcoCortec and RERA did together, and it can be separated. These two slides, as you can see, are two short things about RERA and EcoCortec, and there were 4 companies which we were testing the business support service in Croatia. That's EcoCortec, DES, Jafra Print, and we say Bioplan. It's from Split, Dalmatia County. So testing of pilot actions were done in EcoCortec together with Hungarian partners. That was in Beli Manastir in February of last year. You can see here a few pictures from it. And the testing, the other testing of business support service in Croatia was done with DES, that is Institution for Employment and Professional Rehabilitation of from Split Dalmatia County. The other set from a first set was developed audit tool developed by Hungarian partners. I forgot to tell that. The other set of pilot promoting activities was done in December in Jafra Print Solin. That was discussion on involvement in pilot actions during our stakeholder meeting, which was held in the Chamber of Commerce with this company. And the first testing was done with EcoWork films, which are analyzed using differential scanning calorimetry. This EcoWork films was developed and created by EcoCortec, and the conclusion, as you can see at the end of this slide, was that due to the high melting point, EcoWorks film cannot adhere to the paper at the working temperature. At higher temperatures, it adheres to the rolls. So this testing was not successful with Jafra Print. And the meeting related to the involvement in pilot actions was done with the other company. It was Bioplan from Trogir. They are producing ecological vegetables, and we were together at the Gast Fair in Split in February of this year, together with Hungarian partners BIOCOMPACK, who were also presented in Gast Fair. So EcoCortec redesigned biodegradable bags, and it was used by Bioplan company at Gast Fair. Everything was okay, but from the pragmatic point of view, these bags were not transparent, which was important to the Bioplan company, and they would like to have perforations. But for the moment, EcoCortec did not have a machine for that. That was, let's say, the only problem. But the test of this was really successful. And at the same fair, Gast Fair in Split, we've done some kind of national target event with the panel discussion tourism future, tourism without plastic. We were all panelists, and Ivana from BIOCOMPACK, chemical faculty from Split, and Gorana and myself from RERA. And that was our first national targeted event, and the second we will have in 2 days online. And that would be shortly what we have done in this period. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mili. Thank you very much for your presentation. I see that Andrea still has got some problems. We are trying to troubleshoot it, so we will move forward. And right now, I will actually switch places with my colleague Chris, who will present what happened with pilot actions in Poland. Just let me quickly find the presentation, and yeah, it's here. And yeah, Chris, take it away. We just switch place for now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Krzysztof Wójcik. I work at Sobro, which is a Polish partner in the BIOCOMPACK project. I would like to welcome all the participants, especially all the project partners that couldn't be here today in Warsaw. Nevertheless, here's the presentation about the pilot actions in Poland. As was mentioned before by our Hungarian colleagues, the first round was in the Polish company PACMAR, which is in Warsaw. I will not go into details because it was already discussed. However, I will say that of course we had 3 rounds of pilot actions in Poland. The second round involved 3 companies that we have chosen among the companies that sent their requests to take part in this project. And we have chosen these companies for various reasons. First of all, we thought that it would be nice to have companies for different backgrounds and different sizes, and also different geographical regions, to find out whether there will be any differences depending on the geographical differences of these companies. So we have PDO, which is a company that is located near to Poznań. We have Polsdop from Krakow, and we have McDonald's, which I'm sure I do not have to introduce, but as a Polish chapter of the McDonald's worldwide company, they are located in Warsaw, and in Warsaw we meet with them. And for the final round of pilot actions, we had to choose between one of the 3 from the second round, and we decided on Polsdop, which we thought had the best. It was the best for our cooperation, and showed the best qualities in developing in terms of biopolymers and biocomposites. Of course, the results of the pilot actions will be included in the handbook, where all the examples will be printed and published for you to read and maybe learn something new. Yes, so it was mentioned before, the first pilot action was in PACMAR in Warsaw. Here are some photos from, and the suggestion was that they should replace their P with EcoVio, which is a product that was mentioned today before on the bus presentation, and also suitable dispersion lacquer, which is cheaper, and on the other hand has the same barrier water and barrier properties. The next pilot action and the first one from the second round took place at the autumn of last year. The company, as I said, is located near to Poznań. It was founded in 1997. It is a medium-sized company. The key products are food packaging, which includes packaging for frozen foods, as well as cosmetic packaging, labels for bottles, household packaging for example, detergents, and so on, and also packaging for electronic accessories. The key materials that they incorporate are mostly plastics, but also compositions of paper and plastic, and also inks. Yeah, the second pilot action at the second round was with McDonald's, which is obviously the largest chain restaurant in the world. It was interesting for us to get the insight from McDonald's, because it is kind of different perspective, because it is not a producer of packaging, but more of an end user. So their perspective was something that was really valuable for the project. Yes, and during the interview with McDonald's, we learned that actually they have a hierarchy for sustainability, which is as follows. And the most important issue for them is reducing the volume of packaging where it is applicable. On the second place, there is reducing the packaging weight. On the third place, it's incorporating paper as the main material. And only on the fourth place, it is the usage of biomaterials and biocomposites. So we decided that McDonald's is a company that has so many different things going on, including ecologically, that we have chosen a different company for our final action, final round of pilot actions, and we've decided to go with Polsdop, which I said, in our opinion, seemed the best company for our cooperation. The company is set in Krakow. It was founded in 1990. It's a medium-sized company. They are mostly dealing with flexographic overprints on paper-based and foil surfaces. Also overprints in flexo technology, low migration inks and solvent inks, and key materials being virgin paper, coated paper, and plastics. During our cooperation with this company, we performed several tests. We started with recyclability tests of one of the products that the company was using before the pilot action, which was the paper coated with PE, with the addition of EVOH, and also some glue and some print. And we in Sabro done several tests of recyclability. And during these tests of this older kind of packaging, the average amount of fibers that were recycled from the coated paper was at level about 70%. And at this stage, during the help recommendation from our Hungarian colleagues, we recommended to switch from PE to EcoVio. and I will tell you about the results in a minute. Yeah, so we were testing the material adequacy following the properties such as water resistance, sealability, as I said, recyclability, and also compostability. Yeah, so during the testing of the materials, the company was seeking for a bioplastic material for tea envelopes that could be printed and still would be biodegradable. And the potential alternatives were considered were EcoVio, dispersion barrier, biotech material, and other materials. And during the further testings, the chosen coating was the Sunstar DFC coating, which seems to be the most suitable for this application. It is an aqueous coating which is intended for application to paper and all different kinds of packaging made of cellulose. The coating improves the moisture barrier of the packaging as well as resistance to grease. It is more ecologically friendly than polyethylene. It is also suitable for food packaging. The first tests were performed manually in order to ensure the adequacy of the different types of materials. The so-called procedure of stick was applied by a flexoprinting technology. But of course, this type of testing only allows to achieve representative and results in a relatively cost-effective way. The next test was compostability. So we at Zobro performed the compostability testing of coated paper produced by Polsdop, and the results were good. The material has biodegraded within the 90 days, which is the time span suggested in the norm. So yeah, the results were positive. Later on, we have retake the recyclability tests, but with the newer kind of packaging that was changed after our recommendation. Here are the norms and standards that were incorporated for these tests. And as I said before, there was about 70% of fibers recovered after changing the coating. The recyclability level was much higher, and it was between 83 to 85%. This is the company and the crew at Krakow in Polsdop. This is all from me, from the Polish perspective. Thank you for your attendance, and if you have any questions, please write it in a chat board, and we will try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
And I'm back. Thank you, Chris. I think we are still trying to solve the problems with Andrea. So in the meantime, I would like to invite Ida, who will tell us about the situation in Slovakia. So Ida, you are a presenter right now, and here's a presentation. I hope everything will work for you. Hi, Ida. We can see you.
Hi.
Great.
Do you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you perfectly.
Thank you.
So, the floor is yours. Carry on.
Thank you. I have here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so good afternoon, dear all. Thank you very much for introduction and for whole organization of this conference. Please let me tell you something about pilot action in Slovakia. My name is Ida Vašková. I'm employee of Slovak Technical University in Bratislava, Department of Plastics, Rubber and Fibers. And for pilot action in Slovakia, there were addressed 3 partners. Okay, sorry. That represented small and medium enterprises, large company, and also research company with the production of innovative products. These participants welcomed this activity and confirmed that this activity will be useful in their professional future. So, sorry. The first of partners was company Chemoswit Folie. It's the biggest company of the Chemoswit group companies. This company is producing, or its business involves the production, converting, and sales of packaging materials. It belongs to biggest producers of flexible packaging films in Central Europe. Almost 50% of total production consists of packaging materials, and most of them for a lot of them for food products. These flexible packaging films are demanded by local and also by foreign customers. Among them are big multinational producers of confectionery, biscuits, and, for example, chips, vegan products from many countries, from Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, Germany, Benelux, Ukraine, Russia, and other European states. Company Chemoswit Foils is cooperating with Stuba on industrial tests in the production of biodegradable films. Prototypes of these films, of these biodegradable films, are produced by Panara company and are suitable for use in multi-component packaging materials in combination with paper, connected by lamination or adhesive lamination. Production specialties of this company. So the manufacture of packaging film in this company is very complex, but still don't contain bioplastics. Nowadays, it includes flexo printing or gravure printing with following operations like adhesive laminating and cutting. Processing of these films is based on low density polyethylene or polypropylene from production of Terichem company in Svit, Slovakia, and Chemoswit Foils company provides production of flexible films, sorry, manufacture of combined packaging materials, production of blowing packaging films, manufacture of cast co-extruded films, and manufacture of ready-made products like bags, sacks, or carrier bags. Company Hemosweet Foils is trying to take into account the principles of sustainability into the processing program. Ethical principles includes ethical and partner stakeholder dialogue, fair relations with institutions and organizations, then environmental principles that lead to safe environmental protection system, and emission reduction, reduction of waste and landfilling, recycling and secondary use of technical waste. In case of product, it is going to be customer-oriented company with certified quality management and product safety systems. The sustainability is consistent with the trend of the introduction of biodegradable packaging into the product portfolio, and production for manufacturers who are producing combined packaging with paper. So, summary and solution for this company. The production of biodegradable plastic films is not currently established in this company, but based on the cooperation with the Slovak Technical University and Panara company, where some types of biodegradable intermixtures of plastics already tested on industrial lines. Those were films based on polylactic acid and polyhydroxybutyrate, respectively PLA, PHB, and starch. And these industrial tests were successful, so it's very good processable. These biodegradable films based on granulate production from Panara company shown like suitable for use in multi-component packaging materials with paper connected by lamination or adhesive lamination. The Research Institute of Wood and Paper. There's a third partner in this pilot action. Showed interest in future films based on these biodegradable materials. In this sense, the company participates in the pilot action under the BIOCOMPACK-CE project. Okay. Next. So second partner for pilot action is Pulp and Paper Research Institute. This institute was established with the main target to promote the development of the pulp and paper industry, and is working on technological research and development and industrial applications in this field. Also on technical assistance to pulp and paper mills, This institution is very well technically equipped and is member of many international non-governmental associations of the pulp and paper industry. So what can be very useful in presenting of the results and in application field of research results. Actually, packaging materials based on paper often need finishing for suitable usage. That's why sustainability of such combined materials needs biodegradable plastics. For sustainability is of course very important that also paper becomes from renewable resources, like the biodegradable materials produced by Panara from renewable resources. We can see that worldwide there is a acute need for a structural transition from a fossil to a low carbon economy. What supports all these efforts. Production specialties of this institution. Pulp and Paper Institute. In present, biocomposite is not produced by this institute, but institute is working on development of new combined materials based on paper biodegradable plastics. And institute offers the suitable equipment for research and development. For example, universal paper pilot line with 3 head boxes and online glay press, semi-operating Cont and Hood, semi-operating super calendar, and so on. So it's very useful for this research. Summary and solution. So the research strategy for a long-term strategic research in Slovakia leads to higher value wood-based technologies and is coordinated by Pulp and Paper Research Institute. And this institute offers own technologies in field of biologically degradable packaging materials based on lignocellulosic and biologically degradable polymer materials. Because the replacement of plastic packaging dangerously accumulated in nature and in world's oceans by biologically degradable and compostable packaging based on paper and biodegradable plastics is the main benefit of the solution. The third partner was Panara Company. So Panara Company was established in 2006 and started with research and development in bioplastics area with the goal to develop biodegradable bio-based blends for several types of plastic processing. Strong partnership with Slovak University of Technology brought excellent and unique center called CEPOMA creation. It's Center for Applied Research and of environmentally friendly polymeric materials, which is technological and technical base for research and development activities connected with new biodegradable and bio-based blends. The main goal was to introduce to the worldwide market a new generation of sustainable bioplastic material based on polyhydroxyalkanoates and polylactic acid polymers that could be utilized for production of final plastic products like films for agriculture, packaging materials, 3D printing, and many other applications or technologies. This material the goal is achievable through the application of newly developed 100% bio-based and biodegradable multi-component material developed by Polymer Institute of the Slovak Academy of Sciences and Slovak University of Technology with collaboration of Panara company. This new multi-component material has commercial name non-oilen, like without crude oil, so non-oilen, which has obtained exclusive license for blend production for European area, Russia, Singapore, China. Nowadays, technical solution is patented also in a region of Japan and Korea. It's advanced material. It's very useful for a lot of applications. On the picture, you can see toothbrushes from this material, produced from this material, for example. And the uniqueness is that it's from renewable resources, biodegradable, and it has optimal properties for plastics production utilization. It meets the strictest ecological criteria, excellent utility quality, and it is capable to biodegrade in industrial compost, in electric compost bin, in domestic compost, and in soil without the formation of microplastics. The appropriate composition can regulate the properties of the finished products and wide range for various applications, in a wide range of various applications. This material is processable by extrusion, film blowing, thermoforming, chill roll technology, injection molding, and also 3D printing. So it is really very perspective. And is the only one bioplastic in the market which does not contain synthetic polymer made of crude oil and is sufficiently tenacious, 100% biodegradable, and its characteristics are similar to conventional plastics, such as polyethylene, polypropylene, polyesters, and is long-term stable during storage and use. It degrades only in biologically active environment. Moreover, degradation products do not cause greenhouse effect because of origin from renewable resources. Okay, as I said, the raw material base is formed by polymers of polylactic acid and polyhydroxybutyrate and other ingredients. So this was nonylene of first generation that is protected by patent in many countries, and in order to improve degradation or biodegradability of this material, to make it more fast, was added to this material thermoplastic starch, and was created second generation of this material that is capable to biodegrade not only in industrial compost but also in home compost or in soil. Okay, so the main aim of Panara and Slovak University of Technology center in Sepoma is to replace as much as possible the maximum amount of single-use plastic packaging by biodegradable nonylene-based materials, with also with benefits of reuse, because products from this material can be reusable and recyclable, even recyclable, and biodegradable. And we gradually want to expand the application areas of nonylene for technical applications, automotive industry, medicine, for example, for tissue engineering, gastronomy, 3D printing, and so on. Another objective are innovations in packaging to make products based on paper and biodegradable plastics, particularly for food packaging, able of composting, because packaging from food is very often not possible to recycle because of contamination with food. The development continues to move forward to creation of a whole system that can ensure that waste from these plastics is truly evaluated in the most correct way by degradation, by recyclation and degradation, and appropriate usage of compost, even of compost, to bring back to the nation, to the nature, what we used as a resource. So at the end, conclusions of this action. For the next step and development, we decided to nominate to the company Panara, which is developing plastic blends based on renewable resources for films and co-extrusion. It is expected that company Panara will start production this year. The other two companies evaluated in the pilot action will use biodegradable blends from this production for composite preparation with paper for packaging. Hemosweet Folie company is prepared to start with production of biodegradable films for packaging producers, and Pulp and Paper Research Institute will develop new composite materials based on paper, biodegradable plastics for innovation in the field of packaging in cooperation with packaging companies. And the result is also that the main partners in the pilot action of the project want to cooperate with Panara, taking new blends non-oil to their portfolio in the future. So that's all. Thank you very much for your attention, and have a great day.
Thank you very much, Aida, for this extensive snapshot of how pilot actions looked in Slovakia. And right now we move to Andrea. I hope we got rid of our technical problems. Let's see if Andrea is here. Andrea is here. I can see her. Yeah, great. And right now I invite her to present what's been happening in Slovenia. And here's the presentation.
Hey, so hearing to
we can hear you, great.
At first I was a little bit nervous because of my presentation, but then everything went wrong, so I'm a little bit more relaxed now. Today I will introduce you the Slovenian pilot actions that we carried out in the project BIOCOMPACK-CE. In Slovenia, we carried out 2 pilot actions. First with company Papirol, and in the second, we merged together 4 different companies: Tourism Bled, Infrastruktura Bled, Thermopol, and Dodopek. Let me introduce you our first pilot action that we carried out with company Papirol. Papirol has joined the BIOCOMPACK-CE project with the intention of starting a pilot production of paper bags combined with a transparent window made of biodegradable plastic. The challenges were, among other things, to acquire raw material such as biodegradable foil and suitable adhesives, as well as promotion on the domestic market. The company has produced a combined bag of paper and foil suitable for industrial composting and for home compost. The problem with the biodegradable combined bag is high final price. In addition to the high price, the separation of this type of packaging and consequently actual recycling of it is currently still problematic. So let's go to the second pilot action carried out in Slovenia. We found 4 companies which are completely different from each other in terms of activity, but we have detached a connection between all of them which connects them and strives for the same goal in our second pilot action. Main story of our second pilot action is City Bled, the largest tourist destination in Slovenia. Bled is striving to transform into an environmentally friendly green destination. Part of this effort is the use of sustainable packaging for specific local products represented under the common brand Bled Local Selection. The development of packaging is at the heart of establishing a value chain and a wider regional impact. This pilot action brings together Tourism Bled, which provides local producers of consumer products under the single brand Bled Local Selection, startup company Dodopek, which develops packaging and innovates in the field of packaging, Thermopol, which also produces plastic packaging and wants to replace plastic packaging with the production of biocomposite laminated paper, and on the end, Infrastruktura Bled, a municipal service that takes care of municipal waste in the area of the municipality Bled. The pilot action made for Bled Local Selection brand will in the future have an opportunity to be extended to other local brands in the Julian Alps, whose municipalities are partners of the UNESCO MAP Julian Alps Development Plan. Pilot action was divided into 4 phases. Phase 1, identifying specific groups of packaging products. See what we have and if we have something to solve. Phase 2, overall packaging concept. Phase 3, gradual prototyping for a specific purpose type of packaging. So there we go from concept to prototype and to final result. And in phase 4, gradual production and implementation. So let's go to phase 1, where we identify specific groups of packaging products. Bleed Local Selection brand is created according to the guidelines of already existing local brand Buchinsko from Bochum. We researched the range of all products and their packaging, which are represented under the local brand Buchinsko from Bochum, and did exactly the same thing for the brand Bleed Local Selection. Here you can see most of the products of Buchinsko from Bochum brand with their packaging. And here, this table shows all the packaging material that Buchinsko from Bochum brand uses. Then we proceed to analyze the products and their packaging that already exist under the brand Bleed Local Selection. All products and their packagings were classified according to the type of products, like food products, gastronomic offer, arts and crafts, gift packagings, and packaging that is used in a gift shop. We divided food products into products that need dry storage and those who need to be refrigerated. For each product, we defined the packaging material, label, and printing. So in the following steps, we prepared a list of recommendations for all packaging material used. As in the previous slide, we divided the products, divided the packaging materials, and defined the compensation for each one of them. All identified replacement materials can be either recycled or reused. Composite materials are recommended where they contribute to the sustainability and functionality of the packaging. Where possible, it's best to use recyclable monomaterials. So here you can see there's quite a lot of materials that were analyzed. Overall recommendations are as following. Labels should be compostable. It would be really good to use biodegradable ink if it's possible. To use smaller print surfaces, which means lower consumption of ink, and to avoid unnecessary use of glue with appropriate structural design of the packaging. So now we move to the phase 2, overall packaging concept. The Bleed Local Selection brand already has developed a corporate identity, a story, and visual guidelines. Proposal from our side is to design all the packaging in a way that it can be recognized from the shape itself, using a specific shape of the packaging that will represent all local brands will be formed in the area of Julian Alps. Phase 3 follows. Gradual prototyping for a specific purpose type of packaging. The selected shape was applied to a gift bag and the packaging for cream cake. And cream cake is very well known in Bleed area. Here you can see the existing bag. It's made of laminated paper and nylon string. Such a solution is in practice mostly non-recyclable. Here are a few gift bag suggestions. We also played with the idea of the possibility to combine two monomaterials that can be easily separated from each other and recycled. We decided to use only one material, which is paper. Here are the first handmade prototypes. Here are the first prototypes made on a plotter. And here is a prototype, a handmade prototype of the selected solution. Here are final die lines with graphics. We decided to use only a small printed surface. And here is the final gift bag. Quantity of 70 pieces was ordered for Bleed Local Selection event. Bags, as you see on the picture, were digitally printed, cut it with a plotter, and folded manually. And here is the next packaging that we made. That's the packaging for the cream cake. Existing packaging is a plastic container that is recyclable, but recycling itself often does not occur as the packaging is contaminated with food scraps. And such municipal waste usually ends up either in landfill or in incineration. Here are final guidelines with graphic design for the packaging. We laminated the inside of the packaging with biodegradable plastic. Here is the final flattened prototype of the cake packaging. And here is how it looks when it's assembled. And again, we use the shape, the same shape as we used for the gift packaging. So we move to the phase 4, gradual production and implementation. In consideration that BRIT local selection is relatively new brand and the project that is just beginning to establish guidelines based on the existing brand Buchinsko from Bochum. Recommendations such as which materials or their combinations should be replaced and used for packaging local products can make significant change into becoming a more sustainable destination, which thinks on every aspect of their story from the beginning to the end. Before we start to plan the packaging, there are a few questions that need to be answered for choosing appropriate solutions. What is our product? Do we have food, liquid, or product to use? Product properties. Is it dry? Is it wet? Do we need to refrigerate it? Do we store it in dry space? Purpose of packaging. Is it transport? Is it post? Is it gift? Is it for a special occasion? What do we want from packaging? Packaging functions, method and ease of use. What is the quantity of packaging? That's how we determine the mode of production. And what is acceptable price? And also we need to take into account graphic design. Size of printing surface, depending on which material we want to use and what we want to communicate. After answering the questions and finding a common starting point of purpose, the next step is to find the most suitable solution for each product itself. A very important part is to properly label and add all certificates that correctly guide the user what to do with the packaging after service. This has to be adapted to each packaging individually. The certification scheme depends on the final packaging, combination of material, lamination, and printing. Each packaging should be gradually launched so it can be tested with actual users and allows the possibility for improvements before the final production. And before I say goodbye, I will play a short movie recorded by Euronews about our project. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it probably won't. Do you have a link to this video on YouTube?
Of course. I will pass.
Can you send it on? Can you send it on our chat, and I will put it on, and hopefully it will work for everyone.
I will.
We have the functionality to.
Yeah,
YouTube videos.
The problems never stop. So
yeah,
I know a lucky day today. Okay, just a second. Yeah, I have it.
Did you send the link, or you?
Yeah, here it is. I have sent it.
Okay, I'm not seeing it on our chat.
I have so many chats here. So.
Yeah, just now I have it. Great. Oh, but this is not YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, it's YouTube.
It's not YouTube. Okay, so probably we won't be able to play it. Let me see No. Let me go back.
I will send YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I will try to open it in YouTube.
No. It's like. Right now you just put it on your computer, so it won't work.
Yeah.
Right now you're just playing it on your computer. No, we have. If it's not on YouTube.
Yeah, now it is.
Then yeah, let me.
Bled in Slovenia is known for its lake and well for its cream cake, but compared to some places in Central Europe, it's also ahead of the curve.
Okay, we have it here, but we were hearing it double. So if you can just, I would just switch off my microphone and camera, and same for you, and then we'll be all able to hear it properly.
Bled in Slovenia is known for its lake and well for its cream cake, but compared to some places in Central Europe, it's also ahead of the curve for recycling, as many tourist spots in the resort town are prioritising sustainable packaging. Instead of the classic plastic boxes, the idea now is to use recyclable paper and plastic packaging. These two materials, which can be found combined in many other packagings, are very difficult to recycle when together, but BIOCOMPACK-CE, a European Union-supported project, has created prototypes of paper and plastic that are biodegradable and compostable.
There's a big problem with waste, especially with plastic. And I think it would be a very positive thing from an environmental point of view if it could be thrown entirely into the compost so that it can decompose.
But that's not the situation currently. Non-recyclable combined plastic and paper packaging accounts for 32.2 million tonnes of waste in the EU. That's according to the most recent figures. The vision calls for a paradigm shift along the whole supply chain, from research to sale. The near €2 million BIOCOMPACK project is supported by the European cohesion policy, which has invested most of that money, supported by 10 partners including research and innovation institutes and recycling organisations from 6 European countries. For example, this Hungarian family business involved in BIOCOMPACK-CE tests biodegradable paper and plastic packaging. One of the problems with biodegradable plastic is it's very expensive, but combined with paper, the packaging becomes cheaper. Awareness raising's also part of the project.
Last year, we convinced some restaurants at the Z Get Festival to join our project and only use compostable plates and cups. We collected the used plates and cups there, and then with our cluster members machine, we broke it down and prepared to make it compostable.
Andras is in regular contact with Andrej Kazan from the National Chemical Institute of Slovenia, who coordinates the whole project. But why is it important to promote awareness of biodegradable packaging in Central Europe?
This part of Europe actually has a lot of expertise, technical expertise, also production, but it doesn't use a lot of sustainable products. It's lagging behind the western part of Europe, so we wanted to bring this together to support more use, but also to see it as an economic opportunity to bring this expertise together and to life.
This was great. Thank you so much. Actually, I feel a little bit nostalgic. You could see all those people without masks on.
Thanks for
yeah, but this was great. Okay, so thank you very much for this session. If you have any questions for any of the speakers about any of our pilot actions, be sure to drop it in on our chat. I'm seeing right now we have a question about from Mateusz. He's asking us to share the link, and you already did. So
yeah.
Great. So the link to the YouTube video is already there. Anything else? If there's anything else, be sure to write, or you can also write directly to our speakers. Just choose them from the list and select private chat, and then you will be able to get more information. Of course, all of those presentations will be available on our project website and on the Paper BIOCOMPACK-EU platform, which we'll talk more about later tomorrow. To be more specific, I'll be the one talking about it. So it will all be available, and also once again I remind you that everything was filmed, so the whole conference will be available as a YouTube link, so you will be able to get back to it whenever you feel like. So yeah, I'm seeing no questions, so let's have a break. Let's have a break, and let's see each other again at 1 o'clock, when we will have our last presentation for the day. And you might have noticed that throughout this presentation we were showing the pilot actions of all project partners except for one, except for Italy. And that's why that's because for Italy we have like a special full presentation prepared about what we did with them. And this one will be done by Graziano Elegir, who's like a leader of Work Package 1 in our project, and also by myself, because we did this pilot action together. So we decided that we will have like a full half-an-hour slot about this pilot action. And yeah, this will happen at 1 o'clock. So enjoy your break, and see you in 20 minutes.